Hey there. In this short video, we're going to discuss utilization of the Cybex row machine. Now, if you need more detail, please refer back to the lengthier video that we've made pertaining to this device. So quick adjustments here, chest pad and actual seat height. How do we do it? Now, first thing, I want to make sure that my shoulder is in line. And what I'm going to tell you to do is actually do it in regards to the position of your grip being at the lower part here. My arm, or my hand is actually a lot higher than my shoulder. So what I want to do is make sure I get in line with you. Bring that up just a bit. That works much better actually, looking at that position. Granted, I can adjust a little higher, see what that feels like, but understand by having yourself, for me that is, based on my height, if I'm a little higher than this, or I grip too high, what's going to happen is there's going to be a great influence on the elbow itself. I'll demonstrate that just so you can see as well. We want to make sure that doesn't become the dominant motion is flexion of the elbow, because then you're going to find yourself doing a lot of bicep. The forearm itself, the arm itself will fatigue far greater than the muscles of the back, which is what we're trying to target here. As far as position of the chest pad, we want to make sure that we're not too far back where we can't grab, or too far forward where we're actually overreaching, right? So I'll make this adjustment in regards to me, where directly where I need to be. I may find myself reaching a little more forward. That's okay. I also recommend bringing the butt back just a little bit and wedging in. That's going to allow you to have a little more support. You can bring the feet back as well while doing this. I do not like to set up with the feet up here. Main reason is as I start pulling, you'll see I'll start extending through my lower back. That's a natural tendency. A lot of times folks will use your feet to push back instead of actually focusing on just the actual shoulder and the arm doing the work. So I've made my adjustments already. Bottom pin, 20-pound increments. Top dial, 5-pound increments clockwise, -5 counterclockwise, okay? So that covers that. I'm set in position. I'm going to grab here. We're going to do both arms at the same time to start. When we pull, let's think about drawing those elbows back, okay? Focus on that squeeze, and at the end, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Now that doesn't mean I want you squeezing back like this and really overly engaging the muscles of the neck up through here. I want you to think about drawing those elbows back, and as a result, just naturally allowing your shoulder blades to draw back. We want to make sure that there's a rhythm between the shoulder blades and the shoulder itself. They should be moving together. Okay, there's a nice scapular rhythm with the shoulder itself. Once you feel that, that is, as you can see with me, you'll see that I move back here. It just happens naturally. You shouldn't have to really emphasize and squeeze back here. A lot of times I get folks that are overly involved with the shoulder blade, and they start shrugging and creating all kinds of different actions. Also, don't overgrip this thing, okay? You can use a false grip, grabbing with just those 4 fingers, and a lot of times what that'll allow you to do is get a little more emphasis on this stuff as well versus the arm itself. So right there, I'm going to emphasize down with my elbows and back, squeezing the shoulder blades. Right there, right? Nice and slow. That's with both arms. Now, we also have a single arm variation, same pull. Make sure you have another hand there for support. You can grab here, or even against the chest pad itself, depending on what works best for you. And same thing, nice pull. Now, I'm going to show you a different variation to get a little more shoulder blade motion. This is important. I did demonstrate on the last video. We would get the best position if the hands were out here to get more shoulder blade involvement, but it's not that way, as you can see with the direction of the machine itself. So what I would have you do is you could bring that arm out and then rotate your body just a little bit. I'm still wedged up against here, and I actually still have some support using my other hand. And what I can do now is I can focus on the shoulder blade, the greater squeeze. Now granted, this is done with a single arm only, but that will feel different, and you'll actually feel the involvement of the lats back here as well in a slightly different manner. That's a modified position. Explore with that. Start with the lighter weight just to get a feeling for that motion. Okay, you can do the same thing. Wedge yourself opposite side and focus on that pull. Okay, now there's another thing we can do as well. It creates a little more, we're going to bias a little more rotation, and it'll allow you to get a deeper squeeze into the actual short end of the lats as well. So it's going to look something like this using one arm, and I'll actually still have the support here. I'm going to pull, and then I'm going to actually bend and maybe even rotate a little bit into this. Now for some folks, you may feel this is going to cramp up a little bit. Don't go as far. Get a feeling. After a couple repetitions, maybe you're able to get a little further. Maybe try it out without resistance first, just to get a feeling for that motion, and then going to it with a lighter weight. That will allow you to get deeper in, understand this muscle wraps back here and downwards, all right? It will give you a greater influence than just sitting here and doing a pull. So we've covered both arms, single arm with a scapular emphasis, the shoulder blade that is, and then a pull with a rotational bias, okay? It's going to allow you to get a slightly different activation there. Explore these motions. Once again, focus on that rhythm through the shoulder blades and the actual shoulder itself as you're pulling with the arm. Think about wedging your position here. Make sure you're stable. Have the adjustments and also the weight adjustments, okay? So if you have any questions, please ask me. This is the Cybex row machine. Thank you.